Hello, everybody. Good afternoon from the beautiful mountains of Peru, of Chinchero. Sending lots of blessings to all of our family, to our global family. Thank you for joining our new moon ceremony. We are always very grateful that you can join and that we can share in this way the sacred medicine and the message of our ancestors, of our sacred lineage. Infinite blessings for all of you. We are very grateful that you can be here with us present. Remember, life is a miracle. And it's this miracle that we are living that we need to offer also as a miracle back to our family and our community. But in this case, today we're going to touch on something much more profound, much deeper, which is how this life we're living right now is going to become an offering for generations and generations to come. And how we're going to leave a legacy with the way we wake up, with the way we offer our service in unconditional love to our family, to our community, to the planet. Today we're going to talk about Taripai Pacha. This is one of the offerings of this new moon ceremony. Taripai in Quechua means to catch up. And Pacha is the one Quechua word which means time and space. And for us in the Andes, time is not linear. Well, it can be linear, but the linear part of it is just limited. For us, time is cycles. For us, time is a dance. For us, time is the cosmic father. And in ancient geometry, it was represented as the vertical line. So in every Incan temple, wherever you saw a vertical line, that was Pachatata, which means sacred time. And wherever you saw a horizontal line in every carving, in every stone wall, that was Pachamama, which is sacred space. When we talk about time, we cannot talk about it without space. It's the same principle as you cannot be here if it wasn't for the mother and the father. You can only be here thanks to mom and dad. And thanks to this sacred time and space, you can have Taripai Pacha. We have different Pachas that we have in our tradition. We talk about different cycles. And before we talk about Pachakuti, I want to tell you about Taripai Pacha. So, because we are going through a lot of processes right now, we need to take our time to be with ourselves and be calmed and be in harmony and be present with ourselves so that we can catch up with the new life. We can catch up with the new energy that is coming to our planet, with the new order, if we're going to say it. Right after the chaos comes this cosmic order. We believe we have cosmic gardeners, powerful beings of light who are looking after the process of humanity on this planet. And they're the ones who come and bring in new information, a new order to things, and therefore new life. And they're responsible for the transitions of whole eras. We're talking about cycles of thousands of years. We're going to be talking about those Pachakutis today too. So, in order for us to catch up with Taripa y Pacha, and the reason why we talk about this first is because we need to take care of our well-being. We need to take care of our whole well-being, physical, emotional, psychological, and energetic. Because we have so many things happening in the planet right now, and where a lot of people are producing through fear, through doubt, and also frustration, anger in some cases, there's a lot of heavy energy being produced. So for this reason, we need to hold our space a bit more sacred, and we need to give ourselves enough sacred space so that we can take care of our well-being, and that way be ready for this catching up time. As I told you, in the Andes, time is not linear. So when we catch up, it's completely different to what a lot of people believe in the big cities. You know, they're catching up with their work, they're catching up with the family, they're catching up with their projects, with their goals. This is completely different. Like, when we talk about Taripa y Pacha, I'm not saying we should rush to catch up with anything, but rather we should stand quiet, and we should be transcendentally present, so that we let these cycles, this new life, catch up. So, because nothing goes one way, as the new era catches up with our consciousness, so do we consciously catch up with the new life. And it's not about being worried or afraid whether we will make it or not. Here's the best part: we have no choice. In Taripa y Pacha, the main medicine that our ancestors used to share with us was, there will be a time when you will have no choice. And when that time comes, is because you've taken for granted your freedom. And when we take for granted our freedom, because we have it, and we do have free will, but one of our essences, one of our main natures, is also to be humble, to honor like we would love to be honored, to respect like we would love to be respected, to live in harmony with, like we would like to be lived in harmony with. So for this reason, when we take for granted our freedom, processes come at the global level like we are in right now, where we have no choice. And that's in many levels. It's not just at home, it's not just with what we can do now, but it's even in the way we can think, it's even in the way we can feel. We can no longer be the way we were before. We're evolving, we are growing, we are awakening. And therefore, because we are co-creators of life on this planet, we're going to co-create in absolute cooperation with everything that is responsible for life on this planet. We're going to co-create a new life, one where we will be in more harmony, one where we will be in a better health, where we will have our well-being, one where we will be better guardians of our sacred Pachamama, Mother Earth, one where we will be prioritizing our family, our loved ones, our vulnerable ones. In the shamanic training that I used to receive from grandfather, one of the main trainings that I received was, besides taking care of my energetic field, and besides taking care of my sacred space, was to take care of everyone that was vulnerable in the family. Because not everybody was going to be in ceremony, not everybody was going to be fully awake or fully conscious. Some of the family had a completely different soul purpose, and they were very busy carving stones. Some of them were very busy plowing whole mountainsides. And in those times, I remember even some of these members of the family used to say, I don't have time to be in ceremony. Little did they know everything that they were going through in life was within sacred space and sacred time. Therefore, it was ceremony. But because they didn't believe in it, because they were not conscious of it, they were vulnerable. So at any moment, they could become attacked by these heavy energies. And one of the things that we used to do with grandfather in the afternoons was, we need to take care of our vulnerable ones first. Everyone who does not believe in the powers of Mother Earth, in the powers of the universe, in the powers of Sacred Spirit, so we can protect them. And with our awakening and with our being conscious, we can protect them and we can take care of them. This is what we're going to put into practice at a global level, my family. By us being completely awake, by us being completely conscious, we're going to take better care of everyone in our family that is vulnerable, and not because they're not strong, because they're not in ceremony consciously, because they're not in communion consciously. That doesn't mean they're disconnected. One of the things I want to share today is, regardless of a person living a life, consciously in ceremony or not, we're always in ceremony. Whether they believe in the power of superior forces than ourselves or not, they have these high frequency energies around them all the time. So our guardians, our guides, our doctor spirits are always around us, whether we see them, whether we talk with them, whether we're connected with them or not. But the cool part is when we're connected with them, when we talk with them, when we see them. That is the gift or the miracle of having them with us consciously. And it is very important to constantly discover, to constantly learn from these powerful spiritual forces, light beings. We must connect with them constantly. Imagine, for example, when you talk with a mountain, this is what grandfather used to say. When you talk with a mountain, this mountain has seen generations and generations of people in a village. This mountain has seen what your great-great-great-grandparents have been through. And they can tell you this story. If you become very good friends with them, they will even show you. And you will be in that time with them. For us, time travel it's a thing we live with. It's a miracle of every day. Because we are here in this earth, we can actually journey through time and space thanks to the help of these spiritual beings, thanks to the help of these powerful forces. Give yourself the opportunity to discover your divinity by having more communion and more connection with everything that is divine and sacred to you. What do you hold as something more powerful? What do you know as something more sacred, as something more divine that exists in a much higher frequency of vibration than you do? Connect with them. Not everybody can talk with them, so you need to develop that. It's a gift. Not everybody can see them, but you can develop that. It's also a gift. Not everybody can hear them, but you can develop that. Also is a gift. But what everybody can do is feel them. That's one of our senses that connect with them immediately, to the point where we can even smell them. Grandfather used to say, if you are on a mountaintop and all of a sudden you smell your grandmother toasting the corn, but you're way up in the mountains, it's impossible that somebody is toasting corn. But you smell that. That's the spirits. They use a smell. They use feelings. If you were, for example, walking in the street and all of a sudden around a corner you feel a rush, like a shiver, that was a shocking experience of meeting one of these powerful spirits. And the reason why they produce the shiver is because they're at a higher frequency than you are. So they actually create a shock in your physical system, and that's why you can shiver. So connect with them in this way. Everybody can feel them, and everybody can have this all of a sudden strange smells where there shouldn't be. Like, for example, let's say you're at a beach and you're experiencing sunset, but this strong coffee smell, and there's nothing, kilometers away from you, but you can smell this coffee. That's the spirits connecting with you. Let's say you're driving and all of a sudden you're at a stoplight, you're relaxed, and all of a sudden you jump, like you just shiver. Also, these powerful spirits are connecting with you. But as I told you, when you develop such a powerful gifts, you can talk with them, you can see them, and you live with them. And that experience is so rich, is beyond words, it's timeless, it's powerful, it's magical. And they know where we come from, and literally thousands of years ago, and they know where we're going, and literally thousands of years from now. So this is why the people, the high priests and priestesses that were called Ilyah Uma, who could access to the knowledge, to these sacred spirits, and to that transcendental consciousness, they could access to these powerful prophecies, they could access to this powerful knowledge about where we were heading as a humanity, what life was about in our earth really. And according to those experiences, they brought back with them powerful metaphors, powerful realizations, so that they could help people and literally guide generations and generations of humanity on this planet. So like that, we have access still in our living tradition with our elders who are still alive on the mountaintops, who still speak about Pachakuti. So remember I told you, the first thing you need to go through is through Taripai Pacha, which means you need to catch up. You need to be present and let this new life be with you. Realize it with yourself, and this is how you catch up. It's not like you need to rush. And the Pachakuti, these were very powerful cycles that our ancestors always used to keep a very precise track of. They had a way with their astronomical observatories of marking every 500 years, every 2,000 years, every 5,000 years, every 7,000 years, every 12,000 years, every 26,000 years. They had a way of marking specific times, cycles rather, with which they were fully conscious with. And, for us, about 500 years ago, a little bit less, in 1532, to the capital of the Andes, of the Andean world, the navel of the world back then, which was called Cusco, arrived the Spaniards, and they brought a new order, a new life. It was the conquest. It was a very hard process for those that didn't want to accept it, because it was violent, it was crisis after crisis. But a lot of people had foreseen it. They knew that every 500 years there was a new cycle coming in. So because that new order and this new life was coming in, catching up with them, they eventually no longer resisted it and welcomed these times. And in spite of these conquistadors being really radical with their belief systems and with their new way of life, our ancestors were very clever in interweaving themselves into this new life. They were very clever in, like from being people who used to believe that God is in everyone and God is everywhere, to believing that God is only in that cross, and to believe that God is only in that church. And that was cool. As long as they had God with them, it was cool. And they beautifully went through a process of interweaving of cultures, where they knew what was essential to them and they kept it. And they kept it in the name of Catholicism. For example, ceremonies that they would have with medicinal plants, like San Pedro, which was these cacti. They used to call it huachuma. And they invited these Catholic priests to drink with them. And when this Catholic priest came out of the experience, they said that they had met with St. Peter, who holds the keys to heaven. Being a Catholic person and having only that knowledge, when he accessed his higher frequency, that was what he could experience, and that's what he could talk about. And for our people, that was enough. And this high priest, this Catholic priest, baptized it as St. Peter, San Pedro. And thanks to that, it survived hundreds of years. Because whenever people would be drinking this cacti medicine, they would say, we're working with San Pedro. So any Catholic people would say, oh, they're working with St. Peter, the one who holds the keys to heaven. That's just one of the thousands of examples of how they maintained their essential, powerful, most important part of their lives of the old world, because that was the old world, and the Catholic people coming in was the new world. And they entered into the new world dressed like Catholic people. That was almost like a costume. And deep inside, they kept their ancient beliefs that had survived for thousands of years, and what was important to keep. The knowledge of Aini, the knowledge of Munai, Yachai, Kausai, Lyankai. These are philosophies, specific philosophies that we could talk all day about each one of them. Aini is, as we shared before, known as reciprocity. Munai is activating the unconditional love, willpower, and transcendental presence in this earth, and also being beautiful. That's Munai. Yachai is becoming a scientist. Like in our belief system, become a scientist was also a level of self-realization, not a level of how much you have mastered and how much you've achieved through your studies and learnings. Yang is the infinite willpower you have for your labor. Like, you can always do something for everybody. And Kausai is creating new life. You can literally give new life to a person just with a touch. And because we can't use touch now, we're going to have to do it with the thought. We're going to have to use our other gifts that we have to create new life. But literally, anything we go through in life as a thought process, as a feeling, as an experience, is our offering to our family and our community globally, now, globally. Because a whole world is conscious of you. A whole world is aware of what's happening to you. In return, you also need to be conscious and aware and care for a whole world, for every region of our planet, for every community, for every people. And when you think about a planetary family, it's like arriving from the mountain from your solo walk and arriving to the house. And as soon as you arrive to the house, it is no longer just your process, but it's the process of your mother, your father, your brother, your sister, your nephews, nieces. Like, it's everybody. It becomes broader. And the more broad, the more you expand, the more you grow. And so we're going through this Pachakuti right now. It is about that time when this new cycle arrives. And in this new cycle, we're going to take the best message of our ancestors and how they went through. We will keep essentially what is most valuable to us in this new life. What is more essential, or what is part of our essence. We're going to maintain the Aini, we're going to maintain Munai, we're going to maintain Yachai, Lyankai, Kausai forces with us. And regardless what this new world and what this new life is about, we're going to bring all of these offerings and we're going to welcome it. And in this way, we're going to make the transition as gentle and as smooth as possible for our family, for our community, and for our planet. But unlike a cycle that used to happen every 500 years for just a small region in our planet, which was the Andes, this one is more epic, my family. This one is a planetary shift. This one is a planetary transition. So it's a different level of Pachakutis. The Pachakuti that we had every 500 years and the one that we need to have here in the Andes is one part of it only, small. There's a greater Pachakuti happening at a global level, which most likely involves thousands of years, not just 500. And in such a shift, we need to be very responsible for the way we enter into it. But most importantly, we need to celebrate it. We need to activate the vitality of love, of joy, of laughter, of excitement. Because it's happening anyways. And remember I told you, these types of Pachakutis, when they arrive, they give you no choice. You have no choice but to transition. And you choose how you will transition. And if you transition in joy and happiness, in celebration, that is the way to do it. Remember what we shared in the past, which was about the crisis, about the hardships of these times. Just before the sunrise is the darkest times. Just before the sunrise is the coldest times. But as soon as the sun rises, you have no choice but to be warm. You have no choice but to love. You have no choice but to serve. You have no choice but to take care of your family and your community. And this is what we're being prepared for. This Pachakuti is epic. Like I think we have shared before, but generations and generations of people are going to talk about these times. By now, a new generation is already arriving with the new order, with the new life. And a lot of people will talk about these times of transition, these times of change, the shift that is happening for our planet. And to tell you, my family, some of us can make it the most gentle possible for ourselves. And we do it gentle by being in communion. We do it gentle by being conscious. We do it gentle by having allies. You don't have to take on the whole planetary heavy energy and process it yourself. But when it's the time to love, because that's your nature, that is your essence ever since you came from the farthest stars, you can love the whole planet and give it no choice but to vibrate in love. So that is what we can do. Whatever that is essential, you can involve yourself. But if it's about having to transform and transmute heavy energy, there are powerful forces who are responsible for that. Powerful allies that we can call, who can take care of that effortlessly. Because if we did it in these times, right now, we don't have the capacity or the potential to take on all of it. So it would definitely bring hard processes to ourselves, suffering and struggle, and even put in danger our vitality, our well-being. This is the reason why it's important to have allies. Me, just by being me, cannot handle all the heavy energy that is around. But if I become a condor and I have a crystal heart, I can soar to the highest skies way above all this process and literally just become a witness of the transformation. If I become a hummingbird, I can be very busy finding the flowers and getting the juice out of it while the heavy energy is being transformed. If I become a jaguar, then I can connect through these filaments of light to every living being in the planet and literally become a steward and a guardian of it and give it new life just with one breath. Well, the jaguar would do it with the roar. So, allies is the secret. Give yourself the most gentle process possible, and then you can also transmit this process to the whole family, to the whole community, to those around you, and to the whole planet. There's still a lot of people, and like we've spoken before, a lot of vulnerable people who need our help, who need our support. So this is the message of this new moon. We will be accessing deeper into the oracle today. We will include the intentions and prayers that our brothers and sisters have included in the comments before. It's already here in the coca leaves, present. So we will offer this to the sacred fire, and we will offer more for everyone that has joined. Thank you so much for joining. you are participating right now in ceremony in supporting and helping our whole planet to make a very gentle transition, gentle process of Pachakuti, without the crisis, without the drama, without, you can do it. We can do it. Our ancestors have done it before, and they did it flawlessly. They did it effortlessly, with grace, with joy, with happiness. We can do it. We carry that legacy, and that's the power of having an ancestral backup and an ancestral lineage. We all have it. Whether you're indigenous, there is, back when I was young, there used to be circles that I used to be part of that they used to speak about indigenous and non-indigenous people. And eventually, it was so beautiful. I didn't even say nothing. But it just happened that they stopped saying, instead of indigenous and non-indigenous, they started saying indigenous and new indigenous people, because we're all native to Pachamama. We're not from here, but we belong to her for now. And she is blessing us constantly with her new life. Therefore, we're all children of Mother Earth. We're all children of the Cosmic Father, of the Cosmic Mother. So there was no longer that issue about indigenous and non-indigenous. And that's why I'm saying everybody who is here present right now is participating in a ceremony. You have no choice but to have a sacred space. You have no choice but to have your mesas with you. And for those who are powerful mesa carriers, you have even a greater opportunity to support and help our family and our community by reprogramming every sacred kuya, every sacred stone you have in the mesa. Because now is the times. Whatever medicine wheels you have learned, whatever traditions you have received with the mesa work, this is the times to reprogram it and support in this way with the mesa, with the prayers. Part of that reprogramming process will be happening for us in June, just before winter solstice, where we're going to create a circle of mesa carriers, and we're going to start reprogramming these kuyas for the new Pachakuti, for the new life. Interestingly enough, this will not be a Pachakuti mesa training or teachings, because that comes later. This will just be the reprogramming of the mesas, so that we can activate our most powerful allies to help heal our family, our community, our planet. Also, for those that don't have mesas, that don't know what the mesas are, these medicine bundles, infinite blessings we will send to you from here, because you must have a crystal. You must have a sacred stone somewhere. And if not, you become the crystal. You become the heart of Pachamama. You become the heart of the condor. And we will bless and activate the most powerful forces of awakening and healing for the whole planet. It's each one of you. There is nobody that exists separate or disconnected. Grandfather used to say, the second you think someone is separate, the second you think something is separate from you, you don't exist. Like you're not here. But while you are here, whether you are conscious or not, you are connected with everyone, and you're connected to everything, to the whole. And such a connection is a blessing. It's a miracle. But besides that, for us, medicine men, medicine women, it's also a venue, a way, an instrument of transformation, of healing, of liberation. And we use it. So for those of you who have access to crystals, also you can reprogram it. And the way to reprogram it is very easy. You just hold the crystal and you say, this is going to bring me whatever you're needing, whether you need love, whether you need good health, whether you need freedom, whether you need abundance, prosperity. You just breathe on it and you say, this crystal is going to bring me abundance. And you breathe on it 3 times from the depth of your solar plexus. Like that, 3 times. You know, whatever stone, whatever sacred stone you have, you just breathe on it 3 times and you say, this is going to bring me love. Or this is going to activate the unconditional service of love. So, work with the mesas. Those of you who know how to reprogram the mesas, reprogram it. Those of you who know how to work with crystals, program those crystals. And if they're programmed, reprogram them. Crystals do not need clearing or cleansing. They're already conductors of only high frequency energy. When there is heavy energy around them, or too much of it, they just break. Crystals just break. They cannot conduct heavy energy. They will not, ever. If you're working with wood, program wood. Wood has the power to carry a powerful energy for a whole year, at least. But if it's metals like gold and silver, they can carry for shorter cycles. So you need to work with them constantly. But crystals are the best. Crystals are just powerful in these moments, in these times, for this Pachakuti. We're going to access our oracle. If you have any questions, send them over. We're going to be helping our family and our community with the guidance of the sacred oracle, as it is now our tradition. Isn't it cool? We don't just carry millenary traditions, but we make new ones, such as this one with these life ceremonies. Now we always have an oracle with every new moon ceremony. First question will be Elaine Slickerver. You don't find your animal spirit. You call on it. Like, you can become any animal spirit you choose, because ultimately is your willpower. But there are some that are choosing you, that are around you. So I'm going to check which one it is, which is also your medicine for this moment. But it can be changed at any time, and it can be changed at will. You have a hawk spirit, Elaine. So that means you see everything from above and you're a guardian. Bevy, for Tom. He's a natural leader, but he's overworking himself, and he's overworking himself physically and emotionally. So the physical part he can handle because he's strong, but emotional part he can't. It's actually starting to affect his health. So whatever that can bring him harmony, calm, inner peace, he needs it. He needs it. Marta Siles or Siles. Is a jaguar. You are a jaguar. You are a guardian of the forest. You are a steward of life. Samantha. Samantha. Ooh, Samantha. A ver. Samantha, there's a strong blockage for bringing a child now. Maybe in the past you have said something like, no children, no way, I'm not having children. And when we say that when we're young, we don't realize we're actually producing a huge blockage, and we're programming in ourselves to not to conceive. And because of that reason, there is that blockage for you right now. There is a possibility, 50-50, but you need to work on it. It's a treatment. So for now, no babies, love. Lunar transmission. Luna, you need to integrate the power of our ancestors. They want you as a powerful leader. They want you completely vibrating on top of all the issues and the problems that are around you, so that you can take better care of your family and your community. But your leadership spirit is just activating. Whatever blockages, whatever blockages that were there limiting you will be released. And I'm going to help on that even today when we are with the Sacred Fire. Nikki Patterson. Your mission is not so much in America, Nikki. It's in the whole planet. And help emotional process of people. Just your being is a light. Just your being without you doing anything, it's already a help for a lot of people. So imagine if you did. Imagine if you said, even thought. Like, if your being is a fundamental medicine, then everything else you do, say, and think are complementary medicines. But you're medicine all over, whether you're doing it or not. You're powerful medicine. A ver. Melissa Andrews. Love. Unconditional love, Melissa. Remember what we shared before in other full moon or new moon ceremonies? Unconditional love is the most powerful medicine of these times. You need to give it to yourself, because it needs to be self-love first. And once you can master that, then you can also manifest that with your partner, with your family, with the community. So for you, there's a huge potential, because there's a lot of love, but you're not giving it to you unconditionally. You're doubting it. You're questioning it, whether he loves me, whether not. Maybe it's going to be for too many protocols, too many limitations. Receive it. Just give it to yourself. Surya Serlin. What is her medicine? You're a caterpillar. I mean, you're a butterfly, but you're in your caterpillar stage right now. So a lot of things are being a bit limited and difficult, but you will grow your colored wings and you will fly free. This is coming up very soon. Give it a month max. Tamara. Yes, it's time to change your work. It's no longer serving you, and now there is other opportunities and greater potentials available for you, Tamara. A ver. My Peruvian sister Nikki, Coach Chills. Can't see there. Ima medicine and paper. You are a condor, but you have been caged, Nikki. Time to be liberated. You don't belong to a cage. You don't belong. You belong to the air. You belong to freedom. So do whatever that you need to do to transcend that. Blefri Dana. Paper mission. Heal yourself. And your sole purpose in this life, it's not to do anything for anybody, but it's to be in love, and it's to be completely experiencing this life for yourself. Like, you forgot yourself. You're very busy taking care of a lot of people. So time to take care of yourself. Your vitality is very low, so we need to raise that vitality too. You're almost surviving, not living. And we do that. We do that often. You know, our vitality should not go down ever, because that's our sacred fire. It's what we use as our driving force, as the life energy that keeps us here. So don't let your vitality come down low like that. Be very passionate and about yourself. Amanda Wallis. To be more excited, to be more joyful and happy about what's coming to your life, because you're really blessed. You're infinitely blessed, and there's more blessings coming your way. But you're taking on the process of people around you where you're feeling a bit depressed and sad, and really for no reason. Like, you're really blessed. But I guess it is very easy for you to take on other people's process and not celebrate how you are right now, because you're very busy struggling with them. So here's the medicine for that. You need to be doubly blessed, so that you are blessed for yourself and you are also blessed for the brother and sister, so that you transmit that energy to them. Because if you take on the heavy energy and you also worry and you also get sad, like the people around you, first, it doesn't serve you, and second, it doesn't serve them. So celebrate and be more excited about the blessings that you have. Chantel Enslow. You're going to be meeting powerful guides, spirit guides, very soon. They're waiting for you in a week, 2-week period max. And they're going to guide you about your medicinal path, but most importantly about love. There's a huge blessing in love coming your way. Hadia Asi. We don't know your son's name, but we will check still. He's good. He's in love, and he's liberating this baby. Some babies come only to bless the womb and only to bless the mother and the father, but they're not meant to stay here. Like, we have no choice about that. These are soul agreements that we make. You know, some of us only come for a few months, some of us only come for a few years. Nothing he could have done about that. And your son is okay now. He's emotionally aching and hurting. Who needs protection and healing is the mother, because she can be left with a trauma of not wanting to be pregnant again. So she's delicate right now and she needs healing. So purple crystal for her. If you can't get her a physical one, visualize her and imagine her inside a purple crystal. Janaina. Familia ka ng puting-punya chumanarascho. Yes, big time, Yanaina. Give yourself now this miracle of the family and to bring children, and everything is ready. The only thing that you need to work on is your emotional process. You are a bit vulnerable. So you need to become strong. You need to work with the pink crystal. The pink crystal also activates that sublime and conditional love energy and transmits that all around you and protects you from taking on heavy energy. But now is the time. Panda Michalski. Natural leader. You're taking off. You're like an eagle who flies high and sees everything from above. So practice this leadership even more. And one of the things you need to celebrate is the miracle of love that you are experiencing right now. Margriet, my sister in Holland. You are a powerful medicine woman, and you are a medicine woman for the sacred feminine. So your work needs to be constantly with Mother Earth. Your work needs to be constantly with the sacred feminine. So your sole purpose is that. And you have been completing a lot of that throughout your life. But there's more work for you to do with a lot of young women and women who have been in trauma or some shocking experiences. So activate that energy of our mesa. Work with the yoke mesa. You need to work with the yoke part. We'll be teaching you about all these very soon. Octavio and Jessica Hernandez. First, you have lots of guardians and lots of guides in the ancestral realm and also in Mother Nature, powerful elemental beings. For us, when you talk about water, when you talk about air, when you talk about earth, when you talk about fire, it's not just elements. They're powerful protectors, powerful guardians, and guides also. So when you call on them, be with them for a whole day. Like choose for tomorrow Saturday to sit with the fire and what that brings to you during that day. What experiences you have, what thoughts, what feelings come out. And that's your communion with fire. And for Sunday, choose air. And you will notice you will fly with the birds. You will become the strongest winds and you will just experience this powerful element. Call on them, but they're also around you, even if you don't call on them. Sally Okonewiski. You're a woman in love. Right now you need to be very busy loving yourself and receiving love unconditionally. This is your part of your process. Sergei Grigor. To be very strong, my brother Sergei, just remove whatever heavy energy that is around you and continue with all the wonderful projects you have in life. They have been a bit blocked recently, but they will be rising up again in a week, less than a week. Argentina. Argentina, also for you the message is to be in love and to experience this unconditionally, without any limitations, without any protocols. Antonia Marrero, for your niece. She's with some doubts and fears, so some hard psychological process, but she's protected. We're going to send lots of guardians her way. One more before we light up our sacred fire. Joanne Mitidieri. It's a new life, it's a new world. You know, when you change of career, it's like when you move to a new place and it's new friends and it's a new environment. So you'll be very fast to make a team around you. So you'll be celebrating that very soon. All right. Oh my goodness, I missed so many of these questions. Okay, one more. Tracy Sprader, medicine. Your medicine is of the hummingbird. You are a natural leader, you're a natural healer, master, to find the flower wherever you go and to get the juice out of it. So continue with that. To all our brothers and sisters that I couldn't reach with the questions, I'm just being chosen randomly by Spirit. And we will have the opportunity to have more sessions. Maybe one of these days I'll just surprise you with the coca leaves and all I'll do is just readings. And hopefully you're online. Time to present to the sacred fire our intentions, our prayers, so whatever that you can think of is being included right now to help with our most powerful allies, with the most powerful forces to support you in these times. And the intentions of the people that have been sent before are also being included. Always very grateful to be in ceremony with you, my beautiful family, and to be able to offer in your name to all our guardians, to all our guides, to all our protectors, to give us the most gentle process of Pachakuti. Remember that there are some things we need to keep that are essential to us, such as unconditional love, communion, free will and freedom, but do not take it for granted. Otherwise, we'll have no choice. But here's the best part about having no choice. When you don't have a choice, it's because a higher force is choosing for you. You cannot let anything in a low frequency choose for you. So, actually, it's only because a higher force is choosing for you that you have no choice. So, that's what we celebrate also. For all my brothers and sisters in the 4 directions throughout the planet, for all the vulnerable ones, for all the ones that need a lot of support and a lot of healing, a lot of guidance and a lot of protection, and for all of my brothers and sisters who are present right now in this live ceremony, infinite blessings in everything and anything that they need right now in their lives. Our sacred fire is very powerful in this new moon. That is a very good sign. And these are the intentions of our brothers and sisters that have had their prayers and comments before. This condor is hiding from me. Ah, here it is. Blessings, my brothers, my sisters, infinite blessings. Be well. Take care of yourselves. Do not take on too much heavy energy, and if you do, transform it right away. Always have a crystal around you, and remember to call on your allies. The more powerful allies that you have, the better you will be. And remember, your brother here in the Andes, always with you in ceremony, will be, call on me anytime. I will show up there as a powerful wind. Thank you so much. Thank you for being present in our ceremony. And we will be connected in ceremony always. Much love, much gratitude to each one of you. Infinite blessings. It's so wonderful to have some of our friends and family also in this link. It's awesome. We're ever building a stronger community and a stronger family globally. Thank you. Ciao, ciao.